Thursday afternoon chat. Your favorite artists with Jayar.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please help me welcome today's guest, 2/3 of CAIN. How are we?
Great.
We are sad that Madison's not with us.
Yeah.
That's right.
But also, look, she's not here. This is the best 2/3. So,
Yeah.
you know, I said it.
That's what I was going to say.
Right.
You were going to say that?
We'll send it to her after.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Hey, well, it gets a little, sometimes when the four of us get together in front of microphones, everybody has a good joke. So it can be, it just sounds like, you know, when a train comes into port and you hear the rail?
Yeah.
When everybody's saying something funny,
Yeah.
it's like, wow, I want to laugh.
I know.
But there's
And-
too many jokes coming in.
Now I feel like it's not going to be any laughing.
Oh, no, we'll be fine.
Well, with you, right?
be
Yeah,
We'll be
yeah.
Good. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, you guys are coming to town for some of our audience.
Mm-hmm.
That tour is it David Leonard?
Yes.
Okay.
David Leonard and Katie Nicole.
Oh.
Woohoo.
And we are jumping up and down about it. This is our first time headlining a tour. So that alone is, we're excited about that. But then because we have known about it we got the offer to headline like a year ago. And so we've been able to be very considerate and calculated about who we're bringing out. And we got to meet with lots of artists, and Katie and David blew us away. And
Yeah.
we're so
It was
excited.
so cute because we took Katie to breakfast, and she was like, well, I wanted to show y'all that my top Spotify playlist for 2021
Is
was
you guys?
CAIN. Yeah, and I'm like, what?
No,
Like,
you
she
need to
can't make
start
that up.
with.
That's so sweet.
She needs to start with. Here are two of the biggest songs in faith-based radio in 2022, and they are mine.
Would you
Yes.
like to?
Would you like to
would you
have
like
me?
to sing them with you? And that was because again, In Jesus' Name was happening when we met with her, and then it became this
God
the
is in
same
the
thing,
story.
and God is in the story now, still
Oh yeah.
being as big as anything on radio. And
Yeah.
but the thing that I took away from that meeting, now one, I feel like I won't say as much nice stuff about David because I'm just a huge fan, and I'm like.
Yeah.
Great are you, Lord, like David Leonard, All Sons and Daughters, like what
yeah.
else can be said, right? But
Yeah.
Katie, I feel like I came into that experience expecting her to be like, oh, okay, well, she went viral on the internet and she's got a big song, and she'd been writing songs for 5 years before that. She went through what we went through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She had so much substance and so much strength. It wasn't just, oh, well, here's a good singer with a big song and go, lucky her. It was like, she just blew us away. She's just she's got a story to tell. So I'm excited.
And God is in that story.
God is in that story.
Hey! I miss Madison's jokes.
Yeah. We're going to miss Mad.
Yeah.
Two things I need to explain. There's a wheel here that's going to basically help direct our questions.
Ooh,
and
love this.
Also, there's a green screen behind us, but unlike previous years where you get to pick the green screen, I have an envelope here that's going to tell us at the end what we've been talking in front of. So it could be a Shell gas station. It could be the Grammy. We don't know.
I think we went with pirate theme last time, and,
Yes.
and it did kind of steer too much, although Madison thought pirate was medieval, and I don't know if she still knows the difference. So we miss you, Mad, but no turkey legs on the
Also,
open
she
seas.
got out of control with her Orlando Bloom talk. Like she was a 16-year-old girl with a poster on her wall. Yeah. So those
okay,
problems
we
are
find out at
behind
the
us.
end.
Wait. When do we find out what is behind
At the
us?
very end.
Maybe
It's
it should just be
Madison,
an image of Madison.
waving.
Should I act like I'm at the Shell gas station, or like can I kind of steer what I think it is?
But if we end up in a field full of daisies in Holland, you're going to look silly waving. So
You'd be like,
it's a risk.
I love gas station snacks.
Yeah.
So
I don't pick it, so we'll find
Okay,
out.
we'll find out.
Let's go ahead and give the wheel a spin there, right out of the
go
gate.
ahead.
Here we go. Smooth wheel.
Faith question. Oh, we're just diving right in.
Come on. Snorkel's on.
And as a Christian, I can talk about this anytime, anywhere. So hit me with it, Jayar. Either of you can take this, but let's go with since it's earlier in the year, 2023, I can already sense this theme is kind of pressing on like something I know by the end of this year I'm going to be talking about a lot because it's like a theme, whether it's faithfulness or whatever it is. This was an easy question to ask an artist when we were coming out of 2022 because everybody learns out of 2020 because everybody learned something. So everybody was saying the same answer sort of.
Yeah.
But now here we are, 2023. Already you can sense from the new year, this is a theme spiritually, maybe for you personally, not as a band or anything, whoever wants to take that.
Theme for the year. Okay, I know. So all three of us had children in the last year, and I know that a theme for us this year is, whether it's you're calling it boundaries or margins, or we tried last year to make space in our lives, and we discovered that however much time you think you need to set aside, you need to set aside double. So I think that's like a theme for us this year, is making decisions as a company with our family first in mind. And that was a lot easier to do when we didn't have a family. You know what I mean? When we're making decisions about us and our spouses, but now with kids here, that I think is the goal for this year and moving forward, is like, how are we making space to continue to keep the things that we're writing about and the songs that we're singing about. It's easy to let those things fall by the wayside as you get busier and busier. So just keeping our family and truly our personal faith and spiritual health, making way more margin than we think we need.
Yeah, because you live in a town that has a lot of people that write songs that influence so many people's faiths around the world. But it's having lived in the Nashville area as well and went to a church with many worship leaders. I played on the radio. It's like, oh, you're just as not healthy as me. I can tell because you get even in the ministry side of things, you get into the zone of it's my job, it's what I do, so on and so forth. And it is quick to go down a place where you're not in a place where you should be pouring out anymore.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's crazy.
Well said.
Doing a radio show, very much I can find myself in places where I'm like, I don't need to be speaking in front of anybody right now.
Yeah, dude. And then it's that sort of it's a snake eating its own tail, right? Where you're sort of like, then you're aware that you're not healthy, but that doesn't give you the opportunity to step away. Oh, yeah. So then you just are spiraling further and further into this kind of self-doubt and poor self-talk. And it's a slippery slope.
Yeah, for sure.
Mine's personal.
Yes.
So I think for this year, I really want to not get in any fights with my siblings or people in my life. And it's a little lofty, I know.
Yeah.
I know me and you already got in a fight earlier.
Yeah, earlier.
I'd love to speak to you in private when you get done answering this question.
No, but I just looked up all these Bible verses yesterday about like the power that we have with our words. And I think I'm a nice person, but I think there's just a part of me that I always felt like, well, if I don't confront people, then I'm not being honest and we're not really close. But then at the end of the year, I just kind of look and I'm like, man, I'm just kind of fighting with the people that I love the most. And then the people that are on my outside circle, I'm like really nice to, and they never see that part of me. That makes sense?
I get that. It's like love covers a multitude of sin, but then somewhere we decided tough love shines a light on a multitude of sin, or whatever. It's like, I'm the same, we are the same way, where we're family, we're business partners. There's all these different, titles that we put on our relationship. And then it just ultimately ends up being, we're kind of constantly in strife with each other because we feel stress. Like the outside world presses us in, and then there's nowhere for us to go but the three of us. So we're alone on the bus and arguing. And
I'm sure there's a balance, but when I read that verse and it said love covers a multitude of sin. It covers it, meaning that like you just don't bring it up. And I think there's like this justice part of me that I always felt like, oh, that's the right thing that I'm supposed to do, but now I just know that's not
like
the right
spray
thing
painting the check engine light. It's covered. Well, it's still gonna need some maintenance at some point. But
and in talking about handling your car poorly, this is a moment where we'd like to say, Mad, we miss you.
Yeah. Oh, car.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she has a tough relationship with her vehicles.
Okay. Right.
Spray painting the check engine light.
How many vehicles does she have?
Well, she
owns Jared's car too.
Yeah.
I had one of those moments with my family where they basically it was like how you picture an intervention, and I always thought, well, I've not done anything culturally. You did that to your but one day they all sat me down and said, your words to us basically is like a machine gun that cuts deep, and you come in over the span of so many years. And I was like, I didn't even think, because I hadn't learned the power of words are so. You remember what I said to you in 2006? Oh. And it was like, oh man, if you remember that,
Right.
You got you're going to need a new server
Yeah.
for where you're storing these things.
Oh my gosh, you had an intervention?
Well,
Your
when
immediate
you've
response
gotta-
was like, "You guys are idiots because guns don't cut anything." But I hear you. I hear you. It's
Joke's on you.
kind of a bad metaphor, but listen, you don't talk for a living. I do. It's fine.
And they're like, you just added something else
just
to my
did
server.
it.
I'm going to need the cloud for your words that you've been
I'm
cutting
paying
me with.
$2.99 a month to store this on the internet. You are damaging me.
Yeah.
Wow.
But it's true. And that's
that's cool.
it's funny when you think of words and rest. Those aren't adultery and theft,
I know.
but yet they are very much addressed throughout Scripture with the Israelites. That God's like, hey, you're gonna need an extra day, and I'm building it in, and there's a reason I'm doing this.
Yeah.
And then even in the New Testament, talking about words, those don't come up a lot because they don't seem like big sins.
Sure.
I know.
But they can destroy if they're not. Yeah.
Like I went and hung out with my parents this weekend, and there was not one
There's like no
tiff,
strife.
no attitude from me. Yes,
Love
it was just
that.
so good. It was like so when I left, I was like, "You guys gonna miss me?" They were like, "We are so sad you're leaving." I was like, "Let's go,
That's
let's
what
go."
we're in it for.
Madison sucks. I'm kidding. I love her,
She can't defend herself.
but I am the favorite right now, and that is why
And
you.
her answer on
that's
this
why you
would
love
just be
people.
like, I'm just going to keep going. I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing.
like,
She's
I'm,
like so
like,
mentally
so
healthy and
fun.
spiritually healthy. Like,
You're doing so well at your resolution, not fighting with your sibling. It's so easy when they're not here.
absolutely. It's like a 2-part resolution. She's like, I want to fight with them less and spend less time with them. So
Yeah, I'm like, I haven't seen
one
her
helps the
in
other.
2 weeks, and we're doing great.
Love
No,
you,
it's
girl.
typically me and Logan, so it's either gonna come out today or it's
True.
not.
It
you
won't.
know?
It won't. I'm also personally shooting for that as well. It's funny.
Are you
that that's
working
my
on
mind.
loving me more?
I love you the most already. I love you a maximum amount. I cover your multitude of sins.
Of all my sisters here, you're my favorite.
Absolutely. Our guitar player would say, "You are one of my friends of all time."
All right, next question. Let's do
All right, go
not
ahead
a
and
face one.
give her a
Let me
spinny.
spin
You
it.
want to spin it?
Reach my arm though. My jacket's a little tight.
Go gadget.
The weakest
We're gonna
spin.
fight about
no.
that spin.
Let's go fantasy.
Yeah.
If God told you to quit recording music today and go into the mission field, what culture would be your Nineveh?
Oh,
That you would be like, oh, please no.
yeah.
And then which one would you try to pray in? Like, please send me to blank. Where's Madison? She knows a globe.
Oh,
She's
no
so
shot.
smart.
Madison would be in really bad shape.
She's really smart. She
She's
knows.
super smart, but geography.
I'll
Look, we're
let you-
homeschooled,
you
and
take
geography
that.
didn't come up a lot after 4th or 5th grade. So, okay, so
Montgomery, Alabama.
I would definitely pray myself into,
The Fijians.
yeah, like Hawaii. You know, there's a lot of
Ooh.
hurting people
Yeah.
longing for the gospel in Hawaii.
Yeah.
Or like a golf playing nation like Ireland or someplace. Like
Okay.
a lot of
good
mission work
answer.
I'm doing out there on
Yeah.
the golf course. As far as where I don't belong, probably somewhere where I would
Nothing against the people.
have
It's
to
just,
be silent.
yeah.
Like somewhere that would require me to listen a lot or like be respectful.
What
'cause
culture
I'm not
has
good at those
talkers?
things.
Ooh.
Well, if you're in a place that isn't English speaking, you're going to be doing a lot of listening. You just want to understand
Yes.
anything. But
That could work.
very servant minded. You'd be doing a lot of manual labor.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, not so good.
Because
What
do you
about
remember a song growing up in the church where it was on the radio in Seattle? Please don't send me to Africa.
No way.
And I was like,
you? No way that's
Who
real.
wrote that?
I don't remember.
Ray
but they-
Bolts?
Josh Bowman? Did Josh
Josh
Bowman?
Bowman. Josh Bowman would have been a baby when this got put out. But they played it on the radio. It was a spoof. It was like in the Mark Lowry type vein
Okay.
where it's like
okay.
a missionary. You just didn't want to go to Africa because
Yeah.
of the animals and stuff like that. And
Don't send me to Africa. It's nuts.
That?
and yeah, but that was a culture. I'm like, that sounds scary. You know, like
Yeah.
God. I think it shaped a view of God that He gives you what you don't want because it's good for you.
Yeah, it's
Like-
it'll be
Yeah.
good for you.
It'll be good for you. The true Christians were sent to Africa
Yeah.
Oh,
to
yeah.
minister.
Where would I? Where would I not want to go? Wait, is that what it is?
Y-
What's my name?
What would be your Nineveh
Like
like?
God is sending you there, but you don't want to go, and you're doing everything you can to not go.
Okay.
Siberia.
Okay. Siberia.
Yeah.
Where is it just brutally cold?
Yeah.
Siberia.
Yeah.
Oh,
done.
you guys nailed it. Is that
Yeah.
the Holy Spirit?
No. It's-
Just
I was like, she's gonna go with somewhere cold, and I got out ahead of you.
Was that the Holy
Okay.
Spirit? Look what you're wearing inside.
Can I say that I went on a mission trip, and we did not have an interpreter there at this orphanage. And I was like, it's going to be fine. I'm going to be a big hit. Turns out it was not fine, and I was not a big hit. And they just wanted to dance to Gasolina, and we didn't communicate at all.
Yeah.
And yeah,
Did they want to touch your blonde hair?
They did.
Yeah.
They did. But I was like, man, God is going to use me so much. And then by the end of it, I was just kind of like just kind of doing what
just
they
dancing.
did. Yeah, and then there was
This
a
is mission trip
tarantula.
to Polk County, actually.
You
No,
came
you
to
can cut
us
that out
to
if you want.
minister. We send missions trips to, where you live, Jayar.
Yeah. No, I'm kidding.
Because you're not doing the job.
That was
So we
a
flew-
joke for my Florida friends.
We flew in some help. I remember being on a compassion trip in Brazil one time, and they took us to this orphanage where they're like, all these kids are compassion kids, and you get the rare treat of being able to see them before you sponsor them.
Oh, wow.
And I remember bonding with this just little girl that looked, and it was like that moment where I'm like, this girl's going to be a part of our family till she's 18 and graduates out of the company. And they're like, well, she's available. You got it. We'll put in the numbers and make sure that and I remember like, this is God, because they came up and said, she has lice really bad. And I said, I don't care. And I leaned in, gave her a hug. Not that lice is germs, but I remember getting over the lice thing like that. And I'm like, that's God.
That's God.
Because I didn't care. And so we bonded, and I was asking her questions. And then after all that, I was nearly in tears. And they came up to me after and said, yeah, we made a mistake. She's already claimed. She's not. And I was like,
No way.
You definitely got lice, dude. Definitely got it.
so now I ended up with a kid I never met.
I went
and
on a compassion
I was
trip, and all I got was this T-shirt and lice.
the rest of the trip I was itching, and I ended up with someone that I never met. So I switched to World Vision, just like. That's not true.
Coincidentally, they are sponsoring our spring tour.
Oh,
So there you
great.
go. Well done. Thank you,
Thank you
World
so
Vision.
much.
That is insane.
Here at World Vision, we make sure you end up with the child that you thought you were going to end up with. Just kidding. I love compassion.
And a swimmer's cap.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So he came home with a shaved head.
So I think it does seem like none of us should do a mission trip. Like, we're not really helping anyone,
Yeah.
right?
God-
They're kind of...
I'll start with my neighborhood.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but you know
Yeah.
what? Maybe that's the point, is go, and then God's like, you're doing...
Yeah.
Just stay home.
Do more at home
and
first.
help your kids. Don't cut them with the machine gun.
With
Right?
words.
Words.
Cut deep.
Let's throw in the with words.
Wait, oh, yeah.
With words.
Stop shooting a machine gun at your family.
All right, I
we
did
did
that
Faith. Yeah. We don't want to do Faith twice in a row. General question. All right. These are meant for any doesn't. Yeah. Let's go. The other day I got very angry at the cost of eggs. And I remember bonding with another guy. We didn't say a word to each other. We just looked at each other in disgust and went, right?
Yeah.
It's almost like we were making statements to each other without saying anything. $9 for a cost of eggs. It was ridiculous. Have you ever in the past few years had a moment of a sign of the times moment, like where you shook your head? Like a couple years before that, the price of olives had skyrocketed, and I felt so old being on aisle 9, staring up at the ceiling in a Publix, just like, why, God? So it was like and I'm like, you're an old man. You're getting angry in aisle 9 at the price of olives. But it was like, that's the world we're living in right now. Is there a moment that pops up for you in culture where you, I guess, do you have a sign of the times moment recently that I'll give you a couple that you can play off here. One of my other ones is the past 5 years, the world went nuts. On a non-serious note, what do you think started it? The broom challenge?
The sign of the times. Yeah, because I remember
Oh, yeah.
they put planking in an episode of The Office because it was like such a weird
Yeah.
thing. I mean, I think for me personally, I love film, cinema for what it is, as well as like the plot and the story. And with the last couple of years, now major movies are going straight to streaming.
Yeah.
And going to the movies on like an opening weekend to have that experience was so, like, I remember when we went and saw Avengers Endgame and everybody stood up at the end together and cheered. And, it was like that. I felt like the old guy where I was like, you kidding me? I'm just going to watch Top Gun on Amazon Prime. Like, are you kidding me? There's no one here to experience. It doesn't even look this good on the TV. So
I don't even have butter popcorn.
I was just outraged at home that I had a movie. And you think about that, like 20 years ago, they're like, well, how amazing. It can just be sent straight to your house and
don't
you don't
have to
have
deal
to leave.
with people.
Right. You got to pay $100 to go to the movie theater. And now I'm just like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So,
That's actually a perfect answer. It's very similar to me shouting at the roof of a Publix at the price of olives.
Yeah.
Because like 10, 15 years ago, I would have thought you were crazy for saying something like that. We never saw a pandemic coming. But to think about, I think your example is perfect, because the one or two times I have gone to the cinema since the pandemic, it's like you're going back in time to all your memories.
Yeah.
How many times will we go to the cinema in the course of a year? Many.
Yeah.
And it's like everybody that's working at the movie theater, I'm like, did y'all get trapped in here? Like, there's no one in the lobby. There's 5 people working concessions. And I'm like, have y'all been home since 2019? Like, you've just been in here.
Do you know what's happened out there? Let me tell you.
By the way, your stock is not doing well, but it's neither here nor there.
We had no toilet paper.
Dude.
While you guys were in here.
Making an actual decision, I'm like, should we swipe some of this toilet paper and take it home? Like, that's not a thing that you would ever have to think about even considering
The
before.
shortage.
You walk up to the person that tears the tickets and you go, you ain't never seen Tiger King, have you? It was a big part of our day.
You're never going to recover from this financially.
A lot's gone on out there since you guys got stuck in here. But but the
I need
eggs
help
thing.
thinking of
Anything,
one.
Kay? Sign of the times.
Well, my babysitter that helps me with my child, she wasn't even born when 9/11 happened.
Oh, that's
And
a
so
tough
then
one.
to me, I'm just like, what can we relate on?
Yeah.
That was a big, she's going to have to read about it in a history book.
Yeah.
I
My
don't
phone
know.
just popped up Patriot Day. What is that? Well, let me tell you.
Crazy.
I was just like, wait, if you don't know what that is, then I don't know if
Yeah.
we can even talk. Just,
That's true.
Just
There
watch
was
my
like-
kid and,
there was
go to
like-
your room and
There was like a flurry of posts online of like, man, I heard about this. Like, it must have been horrible. And you're
Yeah.
like, you shouldn't be old enough to have a phone or the internet.
I make
so
her
go to your
watch
room.
like Aerial America. I'm just like, just soak it all in.
Soak
just
it in.
learn
Well,
it.
a crazy thought is in 20 years, there will be 20-year-olds that'll go, tell me about that pandemic thing
Literally.
that
And I'll
shaped so
hopefully
many.
I'll still be alive, and that's really gonna send me to the moon, and then they won't even have been alive when we went to the moon.
We're gonna be like those people
This
that
is
like,
happening.
wait, you were alive for World War I and II and the Great Depression? Tell me about all those. We were around for 9/11 and pandemic, so it's like, sit down. I'm gonna tell you.
Let me tell
I'm
you.
gonna tell you what it was like.
Close that history book, youngster. Let me
you
tell
what
you
it was really like.
And do you remember when Netflix went from they mailed you a DVD
Bro,
that you
Oh,
could
yeah.
watch to now?
Listen, okay,
You can
and this
watch
isn't
anything.
because that was like 09, I think. I was in a freshman year college class, and somebody did a presentation and played the trailer for The Hurt Locker. And I went home and signed up for Netflix that day, and they mailed me The Hurt Locker, and that was the reason.
Yeah.
And we had Netflix on our
Yeah.
Nintendo Wii, because that was the only like
man.
streaming
wow.
thing. We didn't have cable. We were sharing an apartment, all 3 of us. And we've had it since then. And I've probably had 5 Sign of the Times every time the Netflix price went up. It's like, they used to send you 5 DVDs a week
saying, I
for,
got a price.
for $3.99.
There's
and
a
now,
tipping point.
Yes.
You're gonna hit that tipping point, and I'm gonna be gone.
And now I literally, my wife and I are going to do it this afternoon. I've got to sit down because I think we have 2 Amazon accounts, at least 2 Hulu accounts. Like we have to, I'm like, I'm not paying for cable, and then I'm paying $150 a month for every subscription service.
I love the fact that in our scenario where you're about to tell a young person that you were alive for 9/11 and the pandemic, you told them, close that history book, and they're gonna say, "What's the history book?"
Close your history tablet.
Yeah.
Close your
In
history
this scenario,
telegram.
You think they're still in front of a book?
I meant to say hologram. I said telegram.
Close that hologram.
This is
Close that telegram. Stop.
this is what happens to you though. Like this is how it happens.
This is what getting
You
old
just
sounds
get,
like.
You just get bitter.
Well, and
You
I
just
don't.
get
I'll
bitter.
spin it again, but I will say, 2 years ago, I realized that I have become the get off my lawn, the old guy on the porch.
Oh, I feel that.
Because my neighbors
yeah.
came after me about I had too many cars parked in front of my house on the side of the street,
Yeah.
and then one day, some of their guests were parked on my side of the street in front of the house.
Yeah.
I put a note under the windshield wiper.
Get it.
It was
You
like
did not.
I did. And then when they came out, I
Said
snuck
John
around the back of the
3:16.
house, and then I came down the street, and then I was like, "Hey, do you know who lives in this house?" And they're like, "No." And I was like, "It's me. Please move your car."
Oh. Yo.
It's not great.
Somebody
So,
sent some prayers.
Probably not ready for the mission field. Like I said,
Yeah,
we'll start with my neighbors.
Focus there. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Focus
Let's do prize here.
Again with General Taylor, you should
Just do prize.
Oh, just do
Oh,
prize.
just, okay, go. To,
Oh, prize.
my
All right.
God.
Whoa.
Wow, what a
Do you
good
want
roll for me.
Logan? Would you mind going to that prize club? But just grab whatever you can find there.
Prize. What?
Okay.
Oh,
Interests me.
good
This
choice.
looks like a piece of the machine gun you used to cut the road.
Wow. Let's just bring up me hurting my. Yeah.
A Red Ryder BB gun.
No,
It's just
that's wrapping paper.
that's.
Are we wrapping another gift?
No, that's yours to take home.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, let me feel that. That's actually.
Nice, actually.
That's
great. You
Christmas
know how-
wrapping paper.
We're just getting a head start. Thank
Yeah.
you so- Is this something that you were given and you didn't
No,
want it anymore?
no, there's lots of gifts there. We just figured that's something everybody can use. There were surge protectors,
Wow.
toilet plunger, or the things that get hair out of the drain.
Oh, the snake.
Lots of things
I
like
need
that. Yeah.
You know, I picked this up and I thought this feels like it would be wrapping paper, but it can't be.
No, who would do that?
It was. It is.
Oh,
in fact.
we did.
Oh, we did.
I love wrapping paper. Jokes on you.
Yeah.
It'd be so good.
We thought somebody would like that. Shall we go? We're looking forward to having you guys in town. Always great to see you guys live. Let's get the envelope here. This is going to unveil what the green screen is that we've been chatting in front of
Okay,
here.
do you have a feeling of like what you think we've been?
So when people see the clips of us
Okay.
talking on socials, this is what we've been talking in front of.
Wow. Okay.
I can't get a good read on what I think it is.
I saw it through the envelope. We are in front of a live auction. Do we know what items?
I don't know. It's the video department that's doing it. So,
Okay, Taylor, can you try to do an auctioneer?
Hey now, five, everybody. Can I get 10? Can I get 10? Yes, ma'am in the back. Charles, and sold.
Sold.
He gets the wrapping paper.
That is so funny. Mine is always 5. 5.
you grew up in the South, didn't you?
A live
Do I see
auction.
somebody in the back?
You know what I hope when I hope we take the clip of me talking about wounding my children with my words, and there's an auctioneer behind me the whole time. No, way to ruin a serious moment.
Oh yeah, the faith.
Yes,
Yeah, that was so good.
Oh, yes, the faith.
the faith.
Yeah, the faith segment.
Shout out to 1/3 of CAIN. We miss you.
We miss you.
Miss you,
Looking forward
Madison.
to having you guys in town soon. Always great to see you.
Yes,
Always good to
thank
see
you.
you. Love you guys.
The Thursday afternoon chat. Your favorite artists with Jayar.